Chapter 2. The choice is yours. Don't ever leave your pregnant wife at the bottom of the Duomo in Florence, Italy, because you felt like the walls of the tower were closing in on you, and the only way to alleviate that thought was to sprint up the 463 marble steps and burst through the door onto the rooftop deck like Tim Robbins at the end of the pipe scene in The Shawshank Redemption. That's the longest sentence I've ever read, and oddly specific advice, but I wish someone had told me that in 2003. That was 5 years before I started transforming my overthinking, and my runaway thoughts were still running the show, even on vacation. My problem started a few weeks before we left for the trip, when I had a conversation with my dad. He told me, hey, be careful about that Duomo. The tower up to the top is really narrow. Two people can barely pass each other on that massive spiral staircase. Once you're in the middle of it, you're a long way from either the exit or the entrance. There aren't even windows, just these tiny slits in the wall to the outside. The whole thing is dark and damp and made me feel claustrophobic. Fantastic. That was music to Overthinking's ears. A soundtrack immediately took up residence in my head. For weeks, I listened to You'll Feel Stuck in the Duomo on repeat. By the time we got to Italy, I was, as they say in the South, fit to be tied. I started looking at how narrow the whole structure was. My dad was right, I thought. This is like climbing inside a vertical cigarette from the 14th century. Am I even making any progress? Without windows, I can't tell if I'm getting higher. I feel like an Italian hamster just going around and around the same spot. Do I have vertigo right now? Ooh, if my phone had a signal, I could check my symptoms on WebMD. Wait, I don't have a signal? If I collapse, I can't contact anyone, and we'll have to hope the rats I encounter aren't so obsessed with making ratatouille that they're too busy to carry an SOS note to my wife. Why did I fly all the way around the world to feel like this when I could have just crawled inside a rolled-up rug in IKEA for free? I'm trapped. As my soundtrack started to spin faster, so did my legs. I don't remember when I decided to sprint up the stairs, but there I was, dodging tourists and fighting my way to the top of the tower. I left my 6 months pregnant wife below me in the dust as I climbed higher into the heavens, desperate to find the door leading to fresh air and salvation. What was that all about? Jenny asked me 20 minutes later when she finally made it to the top like a normal person. I tried to brush it off, but I was too sweaty to pretend that I didn't just set a Mediterranean land speed record for stair climbing. I didn't have an answer for her because at the time, I hadn't studied overthinking yet. But knowing what I know now, I should have apologized and told her the crazy story I'm about to tell you.